Okay, so today I'm going to talk to you about something deep and really personal for me, but I am doing this because of the greater good. I'm hoping that what I share can actually make an impact and help others realize that they are not alone. So this is a concept that I've learned from my coach, Samantha Ka'awa. She created the Inner Mosaic, has been working on it with me, and I've been using this to process and grow myself and have been using it to teach others as well. So this is my version of it that I've learned from her and my interpretation. So in my life, I've learned that there are problems like we feel bad or guilty for feeling down or negative sometimes. And certain times, like things will trigger us. We don't know why we get hurt or we get upset about certain situations, or sometimes we just forget. There's some parts of our past that's just kind of blocked. And I realized that we protect ourselves by forgetting because we have buried trauma. And when we are ready, though, when we are stronger emotionally to handle it, we'll remember. And that's what's been happening for me. So memories start trickling back. And a part of us takes over sometimes. We don't know why we acted a certain way. And so I'm going to be introducing you to those parts of me that are a bit out there. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that was not me. What happened? And so yes, there are parts of us that take over. And so the thing is, as children, we are told to, well, I was told, suck it up, don't cry, it's for the best. And that's just the way life is. And so after our programming, we basically suppress our feelings. So for me, anyway, to keep everyone happy, I slap on that I'm okay smile, convince ourselves that our feelings are no big deal. We shouldn't be feeling sad or angry or frustrated or whatever it is. And so we label those parts of us as bad. And sometimes we criticize and condemn those certain parts of us. But the truth actually is that all parts of you are amazing and deserve to have a light shined upon it and deserve to be loved and deserve attention. And here we go, introducing you to the raw side of me. The backstory of me is the first version of me. I call her Big Sis, age 4. She was sitting down, and her brother, little baby brother, newborn, was put into her lap, and she was told to protect him and that she needed to be careful with this precious baby. And so from there, I recall in 6th grade, my baby brother coming up to me as a kindergartner, tears in his eyes, and showed me, he lifted up his sleeve and showed me the pokes on his arm from pencils, a very sharp pencil with some lead in there, some blood and marks. Someone was stabbing his arm. And he pointed in the direction of the bully that was stabbing his arm. The boy was bigger than me, older than me, and was always bullying everyone else. But now that my brother was crying, I just lost it. I pulled off my big earrings, put my hair up in a bun, called him names, swore at him, and told him to go outside. My teacher, who we call sensei, was crying and saying, no, Nibo-san, no, no, Hanai-san, no. And I said, no, sensei, he doesn't even listen to you. We are going outside right now. Look what he did to my brother. So we went outside, started fighting. And in the meantime, she sent her assistant to go call the reverend. The reverend starts coming in he's like the principal of the school, running in his tabis and his kimono, or the robe, and was trying to break us up. But by then I got in a lot of punches, and just crazy girl was out, right? Just, he hurt my brother, I'm here to protect. She popped out, that person of me, Big Sis. I mistaken her for Mama Bear because she popped out as an adult when a drunk relative was mean to my son. I became just this other person and just said, F you, get the F out, and became this other very protective person. So that's the first version of me. The next version is Sister C, between the age of 6 to 14. That was I call it B-girl, but breakdancing name, Sister C. And I was outgoing, I loved to have fun, very positive kid. Two things happened to Sister C. At age 7, she heard her parents fighting in the next room. And, the next day her parents apologized, said, sorry, we were fighting. They had different separate conversations, but they both said the same thing. They said that what they realized is that acquaintances, people they don't really care about, can't hurt them. But the love of their life, the person that they absolutely love can hurt them with their opinion and words that are said. And I made a subconscious that decision that day at age 7 not to let anyone too close to me, because love equals hurt. Another thing happens when I was in the 6th grade. I had friends. I was going to sit down with them at lunch, and suddenly they were not my friends. They said, "Claire, get away from us. We hate you." I felt abandoned. I felt rejected, and I felt like an outcast. I was like, what did I do wrong? I didn't do anything wrong. I was like really doing well in school, top in my class, and was like the class president and was friends with everyone. But maybe I thought maybe I was shining too much. And so I started to dim my light. I didn't want to outshine anybody and started to become a people pleaser. This third version of me, age 15 to 19, I discovered most recently. I call her the heartbreaker because she would break up with her boyfriends for no reason, call them out of the blue and just break up. And I totally forgot all about this for 30 years until someone reminded me of what happened and said, "Hey, what happened? You just broke up with me," called up out of the blue one day and just said, "We're done." And it was because of what happened to me at age 7, right? If someone's too close to me, we're done. And then the fourth version of me was CJ. I don't even remember exactly how old I was, but I was raped by someone I knew. And after the deed was done, he told me, "Claire, you're a nobody, you're a loser, you're not going to amount to anything." Said all kinds of mean things for 10 to 15 minutes of yelling. And I realized that all he wanted was for me to cry and just break down. And I decided that I was not going to cry. CJ was born in that moment. I said, "F you," in my head by not crying. I became independent and tough. I even became homeless for a bit, but I didn't care. CJ was tough and was a fight or flight kind of person. Well, at age 21, here comes this new version of me who gets married, becomes a Christian, and wants to be this good wife. So she puts this inauthentic smile on and says, "CJ, move over. You are not driving the bus anymore. I'm taking over. CJ, you are a mess up. You got us raped. You got us homeless. You got us into this bad situation. I'm taking over." And good wife takes over for half my life. This is the most inauthentic part of myself. I didn't realize that until recently. Then this part of me decides to leave this relationship. Because I put myself in there and didn't took away my voice. And finally, when I decided to have a voice, I had to rediscover who I was. I had a lot of mom guilt for breaking up a marriage, breaking up a family, after 22 years of marriage. But it was the first time in 22 years that I actually was being authentically who I was created to be, even though I was in the process of regathering myself and discovering again who I was. And here at age 45 till now, here comes BCC, Biz Coach Claire, where I blossomed. I found my passion and my purpose, and I pursued it. I started healing and empowering not only myself, but others. And so this is me. All parts of me are on this bus, and at any moment, someone can jump in and try to drive the bus. So who's driving? And what I've noticed in the past, especially as I became single and tried to, discover again who I was, CJ jumps in, right? Because CJ, especially in a relationship, does not want this little version of myself, Sister C, getting hurt. She had a fear of abandonment and rejection. And so, for instance, would try to break up with my boyfriend over 50 times, said mean things to him, would take over the text or say mean things, and thought, okay, I'm going to just push him away. And he never did budge and just kept on being there for me and didn't abandon me, didn't reject me. But CJ would take over because CJ didn't trust me driving, and she thought, I don't want to get hurt, so let's push him away. And so I've learned in this process, in these 2 years of working on myself, is that there are triggers for me anyway, that love equals hurt. Because as a young child, I realized that I could be hurt. So there was a fear of hurt, rejection, and abandonment. I became a heartbreaker I broke up with my boyfriend before they could ever hurt me. And then I'm very protective. I'll see red if anyone hurts my loved ones, right? So these are some of my triggers. And the benefits, though, of using Inner Mosaic and why I wanted to share this with you is that it is so important to shine a light on all parts of you. You are so important, and all parts of you need attention and needs love. So it is important to understand yourself more. By facing and exploring your past, you see your life from a new perspective and with more compassion. You understand your triggers, so you realize nothing is really wrong with you. Your reactions and feelings actually make sense. And you have a feeling of empowerment. You have a clear understanding of your past, present, and future. You feel like you have more control over your life. It's absolutely beautiful. And last but not least, I love that my friend told me and challenged me to add this to this slide, that another benefit is that it actually improves your relationships. You can understand and get along with others better because you understand this tool. So I love this tool and wanted to share it with you despite all the rawness and the ugliness that you got to see of me. But I feel like it could benefit you as well by sharing even the good, the bad, the ugly of me, and yet hope it brings value to you and brings healing for your journey. Aloha.